Now I'm doing a tour of Indiana, looking at different groups, beginning with the first group of those success stories, the good stories. Then next we'll talk about the stagnation or kind of the somewhere in the middle group. And then at the bottom we'll look at the places that have declined in terms of employment but also population. By far the shining star of the state of Indiana is Indianapolis, and metropolitan Indianapolis in particular. What is key to sustaining the economy here is a very diversified mix of hospitals, insurers, colleges, government offices, logistics, life science, advanced manufacturing, entertainment, bars, restaurants, nightlife, hotels, restaurants, and all of that. So essentially what we have is a very, 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 very diverse mix of different types of jobs that you find in metropolitan Indianapolis. Further, Indy metro area has 25% of the state's population. So we should expect that all of these various data that I'm going to talk about right now should also be 25%. So first off, 13% of the manufacturing jobs lost in the state. And so while most of the state was losing manufacturing jobs, Indianapolis wasn't losing as much of them. Further, 31% of all jobs currently existing are found in metropolitan Indianapolis. And so once again, just 25% of the population, but where 31% of the jobs are found. Obviously, that shows you a lot of people are commuting in from outside of the metro area for jobs. Further, 43% of all college graduates live in Indianapolis metropolitan area. But that's, once again, only 25% of the population. So it shows you we are a very highly educated group. Also with entrepreneurial income. Big word, but what that means is people that are willing to spend money to start a business. Willing to spend money on a new idea, to take risks, is what that is. 47% of professional service workers, professional services, accountants, lawyers, doctors, not so much people that cut hair, flip burgers, but higher skilled service sector types of jobs. Further, 64% of all growth in the state of Indiana has been found just in metropolitan Indianapolis. So all this data showcases that metropolitan Indianapolis not only is it this shining star, but it's also going to only continue to grow based on these percentages, but also future projections. So here we zoom in and we look at the surrounding areas immediately surrounding the Marion County border. So what we have here is essentially, you can look at this particular map and you can see a whole lot of service sector. Of course, we have all those different types of jobs in which you would like to be employed somewhere in the various areas. Further, we have manufacturing here. So we've got a good amount of manufacturing. Combine that with some logistics, i.e. transportation. We got all the highways. We've got the airport. We've got all of those various things. Add to that, we've got primary sector, even in this picture here. So you might not know it, but there's a huge core, a huge limestone mine that goes underneath the southern part of 465 as it kind of bends around the southwestern part of its loop around towards the airport. So we have a huge mine that I've been in, and I'm telling you, it's a huge facility. It actually goes underneath the river. It's so big. So you go in there, and it's deep down in there, but it's massive rooms in which they're churning out limestone. Further, we've got a lot of agricultural areas, particularly there in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. The Franklin Central, Franklin Township, has a good amount of agricultural areas. And so in this metropolitan area, we have a very diverse mix of sectors. And so this is a good thing. All of our eggs aren't in one particular basket. And so we have a variety of different ways in which we can find jobs, and that helps to sustain growth and continues to kind of any economic recession that might happen. Of all places in the state, this is the place that can fight off the best. So if we think about the crossroads of America, the nickname for Indianapolis, really the state of Indiana, but more Indianapolis, because we can see that all of those various highways coming through here. But you also add to that all the rails coming through here. Also add to that all the airport and the other various municipal airports that surround the area. And so all of these various reasons combine to be a good understanding as far as why logistics companies, warehouses, truck stops, also cluster in this particular area of the state. So they take advantage of all these different ways in which people are coming and going. We have a lot of people just coming through Indianapolis, but what that means is it's very advantageous for warehousing companies, transportation companies, logistics companies. So what you're also seeing is a lot of companies that have now been a little, paranoid about gas prices and oil prices as they potentially could go up farther and farther and farther. Centrally locating yourself is also seen as a good thing. And so being centrally located in the country, I should say. So all this helps explain all the various services related to transportation being centrally located. But as I mentioned beforehand, key also, no doubt, is the healthcare industry. And so this is a regional hub for a variety of medical services and manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, Lilly, in their 15 different campuses. But we got all different types of various sub-industries related to healthcare. I'm not going to go into those because I've already clearly defined those in a previous video. And what's happening more recently is the attraction to living downtown. So you're seeing lots more young people who are moving to downtown Indianapolis. And so you're seeing a lot of those are actually people not from the state of Indiana or suburban Indianapolis, as you might expect. And so a lot of people who are moving from outside, moving from Chicago, moving from New York, moving from Cleveland, moving from Detroit, they're finding that, I can still have that urban living that I like in the big city, but I can have it in a much more affordable location, rather clean downtown, which has got an increasing number of amenities like the canal downtown. And events as well. So you add the variety of sporting events that you find here in Indianapolis is also an amenity. So you have the Final Fours, the Pacers, the Fever, the Colts, the Indians, the 11. So you have all these various sports teams and things going on that also gives something for people to do, exciting things for people to do, especially watching cars go in circles in late May.